Guys, Akil here, and welcome back to another episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. In today's episode, I want to share with you another one of our accountability sessions. Now, for you guys that are new, these accountability sessions are sessions that we run each and every Friday on the Tier 1 platform, where we interview our traders. We basically allow them to introduce themselves to the network. So they explain, at least the first time around, they explain who they are, where they're from, how they got into trading, and we do a little bit about goal setting and really setting them up on the right path. And we typically try to have these traders come in multiple times throughout their trading journey. That way they can keep us updated. And well, it also holds them accountable within the platform that, hey, I said I was going to do all this stuff. I guess I better do it. Now, why I like sharing these stories is because I know there are a lot of interview podcasts out there where you're hearing from great traders, professional traders, experienced traders, and that's great. Trust me, I love being interviewed for them. I love listening to interviews of traders who I really respect in the game. But I think there's something special about hearing the story from someone that is in your shoes, hearing the story from someone that is currently going through it. That used to be me back a long time ago. That's how I got started. Now I'm on the other side. So I like these because they can really empower, they can really motivate. And again, the vulnerability, meaning the struggles that these traders are going through, is also relatable. And I think it's cool to hear that, hey, I'm not the only one that is dealing with this. And maybe you even learn a few tips on how to overcome those obstacles. So I hope you guys enjoy. As always, make sure you rate and review this podcast. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you head over to www.tier1trading.com/free. Check out our free content. I recommend the Ascension webinar. It's a great one for anyone getting started. And I hope you guys enjoy.
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Good. I'm all right, mate, too.
That was a bit more Mancunian than that was, Jason, but I'll let you off.
How's your week been?
It's been all right. I started a new job on Monday.
Right.
I've had 5 months off work, believe it or not.
Wow.
What with all this moving and emigrating and all this business and finding a job. So yeah.
Okay, well, start from scratch. Tell us a bit about what you're up to then. What's going on in your life?
We emigrated in November from Hertfordshire.
Right.
So we lived there. I worked in London. And so we moved over. So that's me, my wife, my 2 girls. We're here in Australia now. And yeah, her family are here. So
right.
Starting a new chapter.
And what is it that you do, what's the vocation there? What do you do?
It's I work in construction management, but on the sort of mechanical and electrical services.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I know I know that oh too well.
Yeah, I got an inkling from listening to all your podcasts and things that you were in that kind of game.
I was in BMX.
Yeah, so right, okay, all right. Yeah, the black art of the black art.
The black art of the black art that shouldn't be a black art. Bit like trading.
Exactly. We digress. So yeah, I'm involved in commercial fit out stuff at the minute. Which is good because I'm comfortable with what I do for a living, and I know I'm pretty good at what I do, I think. And yeah, so I'm here and I'm working now. But I've been, I'll tell you a bit about where I'm up to in my trading then, really, shall I?
Yeah, tell us a little bit about, tell us a bit about your trading journey and where you're up to.
Yeah. So when I spoke to Charles mid-October, and that was my first accountability session, I explained how I'd been waiting to join Tier 1 until the time was right. But in the meantime, I'd been working out a program and a schedule of work, basically, and drawn a Gantt chart up of where I wanted to be and how I saw my blocks of study work out. And I've been sticking to that, really. I've been fortunate enough to have implemented quite a strict regime with myself, without being too inflexible towards what me and the family are doing together. And they're all on board with it as well. They can see that there's a big plan,
massively.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's really good. So I had two little programs. I had one for when I call it job free. I don't want to call paid employment work because I want my trading to be my work.
Mm-hmm.
So I've sort of called the paid employment a job. So I had a job free program, and
Right.
then I had a program for when I'm in a job. So I was getting like 5 hours of study in the day, which was good. And
That's
it
amazing.
sort of
That's way,
scaled.
way, way above average.
Yeah, yeah. So I was averaging, I was probably averaging 18 hours a week since November. But that's going to have to scale back now. But what I've got is I'm lucky now that I don't have to do a big commute like I used to do when I lived in London. So it takes me half an hour to get to work, to get to my job.
Amazing.
So I get up at 5. I do a quick half-hour breakfast. I have a stretch and sort of, have a cup of tea and that. And then I do an hour in the morning before I go to the job. And it was a bit quiet today, actually, so I listened to 3 of your podcasts while I was
Oh,
sitting
what
there
a
in my
binge.
new job. Yeah, so that was it. I've gone back all the way to Always Free, back to the beginning, so I'm going through them again now.
Yeah, if you listen to the podcast, it helps us start at number 1 with my one because it's kind of a deliberate journey.
Yeah, no, it's good. So I'm implementing some of the things there. I've got a pocket full of cash, which was making me feel well nervous at the minute, but I'm giving it a go, like you say.
Yep.
Just to,
So what are you actually working on in your trading though? Are you
right? Okay, so
learning a specific part of the course?
I've finished. I've gone through all the strategies now,
right?
And I've done the mindset thing part. I've been looking at the money management part bits by bits, but really what I'm trying to do now is focus on which strategy I want to pick.
And have you got any ideas?
And yeah, I like the patterns. I like the advanced patterns. I don't know. It feels a bit like a challenge trying to spot those patterns without drawing out the shapes.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of, I can see when I watch you guys and drawing out the Fibonacci retracements and extensions that you're already sort of estimating where you think those levels are going to occur.
Yeah.
I can see that, and I like that. It's almost like you're spotting the pattern before you sort of measure it all out. I like that. I like the idea of the daily chore because, I think that's something that's just quite regimented and I think it might fit while I've got a job.
Yep.
Really. So I might start off with that one just because of
suits your lifestyle.
How it'll fit in. Yeah, exactly. So I think I might give that one a go.
And the patterns are very objective as well, aren't they? I mean, that's the beauty of them. There's a
it's I remember it either does a female, or it doesn't.
Yeah, I met a female trader in Las Vegas who just trades butterfly patterns, and there's also a trader at S&B Capital that just trades Gartley patterns. That's all he trades. So they're very, very. The guy just sits there trading Gartleys, and he looks a lot more relaxed than anyone else on the trade floor.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to making my mind up on that. I've got I've just finished a block of 28 days study. So from Monday, I'm in review week. I sort of broke the whole thing up into like four studies and then a little review at the end of each block.
Yeah.
So in that review, because I write everything down and I draw and scribble in my notebooks. In that review, I try and stay away from new information and just go back over my notebooks and have another little read and see where I thought I wanted to be at the end of the block, and whether I'm there or whether I think I need to go back over any of the videos in the training program. And that's good. It's a bit of a revision. It gives me a bit of confidence that I'm doing it right.
And when are you setting aside the time to do it?
Okay, so the morning I've got an hour in the morning, and then in the evening when I get in 6:30 p.m. my time is when you start your 8 a.m. live room.
Oh right.
So Yeah, so I'll try and get at least in the first half of that if I can, and then I'll ditch you about 7 or 7:30, and then I'll try and get another. Well, I will always get another 1 hour in now that I'm at work, and my accountability sheet is set up where I've got an opportunity to achieve a bonus hour of study. So if I hit my minimum target, and then I've got a row that I've put in which is for bonus hours of study. Now, if I don't achieve the bonus hours, I don't get penalised for it. But if I do, I'm allowed to take advantage of that extra little circle.
Nice.
So it's a bit of an incentive to get
like
another
type of,
get the points up
of system there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So and I suppose I need to talk about what the accountability that me and Peter have been working on. Really,
Yeah.
if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Peter put a note up in the new traders group, and I think I looked in there a week after I joined, and he was asking for an accountability partner, and I thought, oh, it feels a bit awkward, but I'll drop him a line. I think his message had been up for a few weeks by that point. I said, "You're still looking for a partner?" And then when he replied, he said, "Yeah." And so I thought, right, here we go. And I think we've both managed to go through quite a bit of refinement of each of our own processes since we've been working together. I started off trying to put like timed slots for study. So my original schedule was like 8:30 to 9:30 tier 1. 9:30 to 9:45, 15-minute break, and it was too rigid. It was set up to fail, Jason. Just with the rigidity of it. So it went through a bit of an iteration, and then instead of having like big 3-hour chunks of study in a little shed in the accountability sheet, I just broke it up into 1-hour chunks, and I could do it whenever I was able to during the day.
Yeah.
And because it was 1 hour at a time, it just seemed really easy.
It's hard to fail.
Fit an hour. Yeah. And so it started. So that was going well, and I was sending my sheets to Peter and vice versa, and we were writing to each other a few comments via email, and I was worried that we were maybe losing some of the good points we were making for each other. So I've added a accountability partner notes box on the accountability sheet now. So where I write my notes underneath my own X's and O's, and I send it off to Peter on the Sunday, and then he's got an opportunity to comment and say what he thinks, and then sends it back to me. And I was also a little bit worried that we might end up using each other as a bit of a
shoulder
tool
to cry on.
give each other, a bit of a, oh, it hasn't really been as good as I thought, and oh, it's okay, mate, don't worry about it. It's all right. Yeah.
That
so
defeats
I was
the
a little bit exactly, and Peter and I spoke about that, and we've managed to avoid that kind of thing. Helpful suggestions we sort of put in as opposed to so it's
I always recommend if anyone does set up an accountability group to just have a no strike rule, because first of all, when you set them up, it's kind of this, people see it, oh, I'll be in your gang kind of thing, and it's more of a gimmicky type thing, but it defeats the object of having one, and it just becomes something that's pointless. So have a 3 strike rule. If people don't do it, then they're out, and if people don't hit the thing, then they're out. Like, be that harsh, because what's the point in doing it if it's not there to move you forward? It's only you that's going to suffer.
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been really good, and you know what? Through the process, I've sort of started like understanding a bit about what Peter's up to in his life outside the trade, and because in his like 5 must-do tasks, I see things about his restaurant that he must do, and deals with suppliers or shippers and things he needs to change and order, and so we've started developing a bit of an idea of I suppose a friendship in a way as well,
Yeah, amazing. There's a lot of friendships that have come out of tier 1. That's something I'm very, very proud of. I mean, just when when I see these meetups in London, it blows my mind. Incredible.
That segues beautifully into a little point I wanted to make. If we've got just another minute, Jason. Yeah. I'm trying to get hold of the Australian contingent. There's 67 members in the Australia group on the platform.
Right.
I want to try and organise a meetup.
That would be awesome.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start just hammering in the chat really, and just seeing if I can get any of them to just drop me a line or just
absolutely
grab a coffee or
go
something.
for it. Yeah. Yep. If there's anything we can help with that, I mean, we'll happily add it to the email newsletter. If it goes out to our tier 1 members, we'll let them know that you're trying to organise something if you like.
Okay, yeah, no, that'd be good, because I'm going to make it part of my accountability for my next session in 3 months, that I will have met with some of the Australian contingent. So
excellent.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
Just one last point on the accountability. The whole thing with being an accountability partner with Peter, we haven't really talked about trading, which is weird.
Right. I'm
doing my thing. He's doing his thing. We're not saying, what do you think about this pattern, or did you understand what they were talking about on the... It's really more, are you achieving what you set out to achieve? If not, do you want to tell me why that might not be, or is there anything you can do differently, or have you thought about it this way? So that
is exactly what they're for. That's exactly what they're for. I mean, it's not that everyone knows in tier 1 that you develop a system and the technicals are all based on what you've developed. It's irrelevant to anyone else. And when you think about a life coach, people kind of get life coaches and coaches, and the coaches aren't necessarily better at what you do than you, but they're able to guide you and keep you moving forward and see the problems you're facing and guide you around how to overcome them without actually being an expert. Like a life coach can't possibly be an expert in all areas of life. However, they are able to guide you and allow you to overcome hurdles by giving you different perspectives and encouragement and stuff. So that is the accountability. That's the accountability of a coach. It's not, showing you the technicals. That's irrelevant. It's totally irrelevant. Yeah. So sounds like you got a good thing with Peter, and Peter's a great guy as well. So awesome. Excellent.
Yeah, it's good. I'm really optimistic. I'm really optimistic. Yeah, I'm starting to truly believe because I'm all the other things that go along with. I've been reading a lot of the books as well, and I'm just nearly through the Slight Edge for the second time. So that's starting to get scribbled on now. That one is
great book. That is.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Well, listen. Thanks for coming on and catching up again. I'll look forward to hearing it from you and Peter in the future. Maybe when he's down the line and he's ready to show us a bit more, come on around the same time. That'd be great.
Yeah, lovely. Cheers.
Excellent.
Been great talking to you at last. I've been listening to you for too long, and now I've managed to get to speak to you. So
yeah, I didn't catch you last time because it was Charles, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's great, Charles.
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, let us know about the Australia gig, and we'll try and do what we can to encourage people to meet up, because in my opinion, that is absolutely, it's key that people meet up and tighten the community. So have a great weekend, mate. I'll let you get to sleep now.
You. And you, cheers, thanks. I'll stay up for Naomi's.
Oh, okay, mate. Yeah, lovely. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye.